everyone, happy new year. Oh my goodness, it's so exciting and I can't wait to get going, but I'm still going really slowly because I've still got the crutch. But I love this time of year. I love the start of a new year because it just feels like anything is possible. Ooh, it's a wee bit chilly here today. It's very windy, but the sun is shining and it's just lighting up all those beautiful greens of the brassicas. Oh, it's lovely. The birds are singing like mad. It's like they're happy that it's the start of a new year too. Love them. Now, on the subject of birds, today I'm going to get my bird feeders up, finally. I think I explained towards the end of November, just before the op, that I really wanted to put them up, but I wasn't sure when I'd be able to get back to the garden. So what I didn't want to do was put up a load of feeders and encourage the birds in, for the feeders to get empty and then me suddenly say, oh, sorry, I'm not here to fill them, go and find something else. So that's my main job today. There's not really much to do. I might tidy the brassicas up a bit where some of the leaves have started to die back. Certainly a bit of harvesting. But it's just lovely to get out at this time of year. A little bit of sunshine. It's not too cold. Right, let's get on with those bird feeders. I've got 3 different kinds of feeders here for different types of feed. And the reason being is that different birds like different feeds. So the first one I've got is one of these which is made for seed. So it's solid, so you're not going to have seed flying everywhere. Although, having said that, as the birds are in here pecking away, they will send it flying. So actually, let me tip you down so you can have a look at what I'm up to. You see there? So the seeds are great for tits, finches, sparrows. Now, the thing with sparrows, I was actually just talking to someone about this just minutes ago. Sparrows used to be so common. At least when I was a kid they seemed common, but I just rarely see them in London these days. I do have a couple. Oh, I'm going to do this without spilling it. Maybe I should scoop it out. There are a couple that seem to hang around at the back of my flat on the roof at the back, but otherwise I don't really see them. So maybe, hopefully, this might encourage some. Now, what this tells me is that I need some kind of scoop to do this to make it easier. So that's the seeds sorted. Hopefully it will attract a few sparrows. All the feed I'm using today has actually come from a specialist supplier. I think it's peanuts. Double check online, but I think it's peanuts that have got some sort of, can have some sort of toxin in them. So you need to get sort of bird food grade peanuts for your little birds. So the peanuts are going to go into the one that's got the wire mesh. They can peck through the wire mesh and peck, get little bits of the nuts out. Nuts are great for, once again, the tits. Tits will eat pretty much anything. So great for the tits. It's also really good for nuthatches, which I have never seen down here in London, but also for woodpeckers. And we do have a few woodpeckers here. We're really lucky that we're surrounded by some very large mature trees. There we go, that's our peanuts in. Yeah, we're really lucky. We're surrounded by some very large mature trees, which the woodpeckers just love. And then finally, this one that's like a cage. This is for the fat balls. Oh, by the way, my Christmas gloves, I love them. Now, when you get your fat balls, let me see if I can open this. for some reason, for some reason they always seem to come in these green mesh bags. Let me show you. Like this. Now the temptation would be is to hang that in the tree as is, but please don't. Take the fat ball out of this, put it into a proper feeder, get rid of this, because this is horrible. It's a real kind of, there's a danger of birds getting their feet, their legs caught in it, tangled in it, and then a danger of them just, well, being trapped and ended up hanging upside down and dead, which is not what we want for our birds. So the fat balls, or suet balls, you sometimes see them labelled as. These are an absolute favourite with the tits. Again, the tits are going to be well fed, aren't they? So yeah, you can see how they can hang on and sort of peck through the cage. Oop. Now for now, hang on a minute, I've lost my hook. Get in there. I have to say, these feeders were a bit of a Bertie bargain, and now I'm kind of seeing why. It's completely the wrong way around. Right, I will play with that in a minute. So there are a couple more types of feeders you could use that I don't have here. So one is a table, a high up table. I haven't got space to put one. And the other thing is a small table on the ground for the ground feeding birds. Again, our woodpeckers love that. Thrushes, blackbirds, starlings. I don't know anyone that wants to encourage starlings, but there we go. So they like to feed on the ground. The problem with putting basically a sort of a flat tray on the ground is we have so many cats around here, and very few of them have a collar with a bell. So the birds would be really, really exposed on the ground. The thing is, the birds do come down and feed on the ground. So, I mean, we're all accustomed to turning our soil in the autumn and having a robin for company, and the robins dart down as you're digging. Likewise with the blackbirds. I get loads of blackbirds here, hopping around as soon as I've turned any soil over there in it, hopping, grabbing, picking. But also occasionally I have a green woodpecker here, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but he's lovely. He loves my grass paths, which is another reason to have a living path rather than plastic everywhere. So he quite happily hops the length of one of the paths, pecking as he goes, and then he goes up the side, and then he comes back along the next grass path. So although I'm not going to actually put down a ground feeding table for our lovely birds, there's plenty for them just by virtue of these gardens being here. And actually, on that point, we're really lucky in this area because we've got parks all around. The whole site is surrounded, as I say, by big mature trees. There's lots of bushes and shrubs. There's a lot of habitat here for them. There's a lot of feeding opportunities. You know, there are seed heads everywhere. It's gorgeous. But I want to give them a little bit more help. I also want to be able to have a bit of a better look at them. So, gosh, years ago I used to be able to identify pretty much any bird. But because I don't sort of sit and watch the birds so much these days, or in the last few years, that kind of knowledge it's probably still there, but just a bit in the background. So I want to hang the feeders, A, to help the birds, but B, for my entertainment. So for now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang them in the rose bush tree type thing, because I've got nowhere else for them at the moment, and I think they'll enjoy them in there because the rose bush is always full of little birds perching and pecking away. I've never seen any of the cats bothering the birds in the rose bush. I've never seen the cats going up there, so hopefully that'll be fine for them. But eventually what I'll do in the spring, as I get sort of back on with things in a bit more mobile, shall we say. Where I've got, I'm just looking now, where I've got the fence posts, I'm going to hopefully just sort of extend them with little poles to hang the feeders on, so that whether I'm in the garden or, more importantly, if I'm sitting quietly here in the shed, as they come to land and feed, I can quietly sit and enjoy them from the shed. I must remember to bring down my field glasses to keep in the shed as well, so I can have a proper look at them. And on that note, I've got my dates written down. Where's my piece of paper? Hopefully most of you in the UK know about this, but just in case you don't, please get involved. So each year, the RSPB, which is our Royal Society for the Protection of Birds, has a weekend that they call, I think it's called the Great Garden Birdwatch Weekend, something along those lines. But every year, for one set weekend, they encourage all of us to spend an hour in our outdoor space, whether it's a garden, park, allotment, and for that 1 hour, record all the birds we see. This is giving them brilliant information about, because obviously all the information is collated by area. So this is letting our lovely, lovely bird carriers know, is a certain species of bird in decline? Is it in decline in one area? Is it on the increase in another area? What may be the causes? Is it loss of habitat? Are there things we can do to help these sort of dwindling species? It's a fantastic thing to get involved with. It just takes an hour of your time. So if you're interested in taking part, the dates are, I've written them down here, it's the weekend of the 27th to the 29th of January. If you go online, if you just put in RSPB, I can't remember, if you put in RSPB Garden Birdwatch, I think that should bring it up, you'll see all the information and you can send off for the little survey pack. You'll get a sheet of paper, you allocate your 1 hour, you let them know which hour you were watching, where you're based in the country, and then you tick off all the birds you see. Absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to get my feeders up and I'm going to make sure that at some point in that weekend, actually I may do two. I may do an hour in the allotment and I might do an hour in my kitchen looking out of my back window, because I'm always seeing birds on the roof of the next property over. Yeah, I think I'll do both. So get yourself online, go and get yourself a survey pack, and in the meantime I'm going to get these feeders hung up. So there they are. Hopefully this will keep my little birdie friends happy. Like I say, just a bit of a temporary position at the moment whilst I carry on working on that fencing deck, but I'm pretty sure my little feathered friends are going to enjoy these little feasts. So I think, oh excuse the wind, it is really windy today, you can hear them all around chirruping already. I think what I'm going to do now is just go and take a quiet seat in the shed and sit and watch and see if any of them find them straight away. Just one final thing about the feeders to say is, sorry, I'm still hobbling. I don't know how quickly your birds will get through the feeders you've got hanging, but just bear in mind these feeders do need cleaning from time to time. You could probably make it part of a monthly routine as you're filling them. Also, if you see any signs of any of the feed going mouldy or going off, just get them emptied and get them scrubbed out clean. Have some, maybe just some separate cleaning stuff in your shed, a sponge, maybe some rubber gloves. Keep yourself safe from diseases. But yeah, once a month, give them all a jolly good clean out and then refill them. Ooh, it's getting so windy. And sit back and enjoy the pleasure of watching the birds feed. Well, unfortunately, I can't actually see the bird feeders in the rose bush from my shed. No, definitely can't see them, never mind. Like I say, in the spring I will extend the tops of the fence posts with some metal poles or anything I can scrounge out of a skip and attach them there, so that when I am sitting here I'll have a great view of them. Actually, I should maybe try and do that sooner rather than later, so that the birds know where they are in time for the bird watching weekend. Get me thinking cap on. There's a massive pile of rubbish over by our entrance gate, so I might go and have a little rummage now and see if I can find something. But in the meantime, Happy New Year to you all. Happy bird watching and listening. That was right on time. Aren't they special? Happy bird watching, happy bird feeding, Happy New Year, happy everything. I'll see you all again soon, I hope. Take care.